So you want to learn some Photoshop editing secrets? Well, today I got you covered. Hello and welcome. My name is Baz and I'm a photographer and digital artist based in the UK. Now if you haven't already, make sure you check out my Instagram page where you can see examples of the kind of artwork I do. Examples like this, and this. Now a lot of you watching this may be wondering, how do I work with my clients on a design project? I will be showing you a live demonstration where I will be designing a YouTube thumbnail from start to finish, and you will see how I communicate with my client to ensure that the requirements are met, as well as seeing some of the editing techniques which I use in all of my Photoshop projects, and you can go ahead and apply the same to your projects. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Ammar and he runs the channel eSkater, where he does video reviews of electric skateboarding products, and he also creates some pretty dope cinematic footage. Now Ammar has been crushing it with his YouTube channel as well as with video editing. Now let's get into it. Ammar, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you, Baz?
I'm all good, all good. You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm really, really impressed with all the amazing quality of work which you put out. And yeah, it's my honor to be your client.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm going to share my screen now.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get this started. Just let me know if you can see.
Yep, I can see it.
Cool. So yeah, what I have here is I've got a text layer. I can't remember what font I use. I'm going to have to check. But yeah, I don't have anything applied to it at the moment. And I've also got the images, which we are going to use. There's two layers here. And we're only going to select one. And yeah, like we were deciding between which ones to use. And for this video, we're going to use this one. And this is what we're going to work with.
So usually with my thumbnails, I don't take specific pictures. I just take screen grabs from a 4K video file. And yeah, I narrowed it down to those two, and Baz thinks that this one looks better. I definitely agree with him. I think this one pops a bit more. There's a lot more movement in the rider, and that's my friend Dave there riding. I think it looks much better than the alternative. So yeah, good call there, Baz. Shall we start editing it?
Yep, let's go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think since you mentioned the white balance being off, we can fix that by going to the camera raw filter. So I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah. I completely messed up the white balance. I was messing around with some settings and yeah, it looked way too blue.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Oh, before I use the camera raw filter, I converted my image into a smart object, and this is basically a non-destructive editing. And I always recommend people to work that way whenever they're editing in Photoshop. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
Cool. So yeah, we can play around with the temperature. This is more cool. This is warm.
Wow. Already a huge difference. So it definitely needs to be warmer. It was way too cold to begin with.
Plus 25. We'll go with that value.
Yeah.
We'll leave the tin as it is. Play around with the exposure. Okay, now it's looking a bit cold. Just a little bit.
It's all about the small changes in Photoshop, isn't it, Baz?
Yeah, absolutely. And playing around with the contrast, we can either have too much contrast or too little. Which way are you leaning towards?
Go back to more.
That's more.
Yeah, I think more is better than less. That looks good.
Yeah, I generally go with that. So yeah, so we say plus 50. How's that feel to you?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, maybe like plus 40 or something.
Plus 40. Yeah, I think this is just about right.
And we can add filters later, I guess.
Highlights here. We could probably bring the highlights down a little bit.
Yeah.
And
you're the professional editor here, so I'll leave a lot of creative freedom for you, and I can just tune in along the way and say if I like it or not.
Yeah, I just bumped up the texture a little bit. I'm going to play around the clarity, just see. Obviously, you don't want too much clarity because then it looks a bit weird.
Looks a bit fake, doesn't it?
Yeah, not real. Yeah, just go plus 7. That'll do. And the vibrance, we may bring it down slightly. Have it a little bit saturated. What do you think?
Yeah, looking good.
Minus 20. Okay, I think that's all we need to do. If you're happy with that, I will go ahead.
Yeah, I think what I'd like to do as well is just crop the image, because the rider and the board, they're not centered in the frame. They're a bit offset to the left. So if we cropped from the bottom right a bit, just to get him center of frame.
Okay.
Yeah, bring it down, a bit down. Actually, no, you can bring it back up. Sorry, I thought there was more stuff, more sky on top of him, but that was all right. But yeah, we'll try and keep him centered. And if you can just crop a bit of the right side essentially, and crop a bit of the bottom as well. Yeah, so if you bring it down, yeah, that's looking really good. Much better already.
Cool. Yeah, composition and framing is really important when you're editing photos. That's why I usually go by the concept of the rule of thirds whenever I'm taking photos, like with my DSLR camera. And it's just little things like that which really helps make the image pop to your viewers. What would you say to that?
Exactly, yeah. I think rule of thirds is a very good rule to go by. Obviously, it's not compulsory to go by that in every instance. As you can see here, he's center of frame, but this is a YouTube thumbnail. So sometimes you can get images that look very good without following the rule of thirds necessarily, but usually rule of thirds is a very safe rule to go by, and it like you said, it helps the image pop. And yeah, that's my view on that.
Yeah, cool, man. Okay, what next?
So next, I think generally with this thumbnail, I want to make it look like he's moving quite fast. So if we could get some sort of motion blur going on in the background, but you might have to isolate him and the board from the background essentially to do that. But we could get some sort of moving, not stripes essentially, but just put a lot of motion blur around him to make it look like it's going quite fast. And then we can also blur the background just a little bit, added to that motion blur. And then at the end, we might be able to add some colors to that as well, just to make the whole thing pop a little bit more.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, first things first, I'm going to disable the text layer since we don't need that at the moment. And I'm also going to save my project because, yeah, just in case your software crashes or if your computer starts playing up. As I've had that in the past and it's completely corrupted my Photoshop files before. So yeah, you want to minimize that.
Move to Mac OS, because even if it crashes, normally everything is saved. But I guess Windows is better for Photoshop and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Windows user, so yeah, that's what I'll be using. But cool, man. I'm going to duplicate this layer using Ctrl J, which is a shortcut in Photoshop to duplicate the layer. And what I'm essentially going to do is go to Filter, Blur, and Radial Blur. So yeah, I will make this a zoom blur, select best, and we can bump up the amount. We can always adjust this later on, but yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and give that illusion that he's actually moving really fast paced. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK.
That's exactly what I want. So cool.
Obviously, I'm going to use layer masks to isolate the subject from the background. But essentially, this is the effect we're going for. So if you're happy with this effect, I'll go ahead and start the masking process.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I'm very happy.
Cool. So yeah, I'll get this brush tool. Black hides the layer, so that's how essentially it works. So if I brush up on here, you can see it already disappears.
So I guess what you do is you do a rough coloring over first, and then you go back afterwards with a smaller brush and you get the specifics in.
Yep. I'll just zoom in a bit just to get that little detail.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead.
This already looks pretty amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just going to decrease the flow a little bit and yeah, just fix that. So yeah, increase the flow. But yeah, let me know what you're feeling for this.
Yeah, it's looking great. Maybe reduce the brush size just a little bit so we can get a bit more specific.
Cool.
Yeah. Wow, you reduced the brush size without even touching the top. How did you do that? Was that a shortcut?
Yeah, it's a keyboard shortcut. I think it's one of the square brackets which you see on your keyboard. Yeah, you can adjust the brush size. But yeah, if you are learning Photoshop, make sure you understand the keyboard shortcuts because you're going to save a hell of a lot of time just from that alone.
I can say the same thing for video editing. Without shortcuts, I'd spend at least 5 to 6 hours more on every video.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Photoshop's a massive. Screen keyboard shortcuts are a massive time saver for sure.
And lifesaver.
And lifesaver.
Yeah. Yeah, just painting over his shoes. So I've got the skateboard in there.
This is my friend Dave. So if you're watching this later, Dave, sorry that we're focusing so much on your legs, but has to be done.
I just hope he's not skipping leg day.
Dave's actually a firefighter by trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why he has such muscular legs.
Yeah, it's very beastly, must I say.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have to refine it slightly, just because, just to make it blend in a bit better.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me know how you're feeling.
With Photoshop, it's sort of process, isn't it? So you do a generic edit and then you go back and refine it.
Yeah. So yeah, I've decreased the flow here, so I'm gonna make sure this blends a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can make the road show a bit more, like basically less of that radial blur or the blur which you applied earlier, less of it around his immediate body. Because as you can see, it causes some distortion, causes some darker tones around his body.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
But nothing you can't fix. You're the king of Photoshop.
I don't know. I've seen better ones. Like the channels, like I'm trying to think of Photoshop, Instagram channels like Photoshop. This guy called Calop. He's a very popular one.
I've heard of him. But yeah, if all I need as a client is an editor like you, I don't need Calops or anything else because you do everything with your heart and soul, and you have an enormous amount of skill that many people can benefit from. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, guys, if you want to check that out, I got a video showcasing all my testimonials with my Photoshop artwork. So yeah, you can check out the kind of people I worked with in the past. Cool. I think that's the skateboard done.
Yeah, just a little bit maybe of reducing. Can you see on the left side of that left wheel?
Yeah.
Where you see a bit of a shadow of the wheel? I'm guessing that's because of the blur. Is there any easy way to remove that? Maybe with the flow or?
Oh yeah, got it. Like this, yeah.
It's a bit obvious now that we removed it. I think it was all right actually. I think it's just a shadow on the ground. So we might go back, Ctrl Z.
Okay, we can adjust the opacity.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I gave you the wrong advice. Can we go back to how it was before I started talking? Because I thought it was to do with the blur, but I think it's just a shadow on the ground.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about layer masks is, if you make a mistake, you can always revert. You can always brush over it to undo it.
Yeah. Can we zoom out to the full picture just so I can see roughly what it looks like?
That's how it looks at the moment.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Can you see on his right arm, basically wherever there's like dark, there's that kind of shadow in the background. I'm guessing that's caused by the effect that we used.
Yeah.
Is there a way to reduce that, just so his arm and body look a bit more clear?
Okay, so like this.
Yeah, I guess so. With his left hand as well. Can you expose? Sorry. Can you show a bit more of his fingers on his left hand? I think we forgot that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a bit higher. Yeah, so there, if you can make that clearer in that area, basically.
How's that looking?
Yeah, it's definitely better. Very good.
Yeah, I could do the same here.
Maybe it's a good time to use the spot healing brush just in that area above his right elbow.
Right.
above his right elbow, yeah. And then you can grab a bit of the sky, reduce the opacity, and just cover a little bit of that shadow sort of thing. I know it's very, very hard to control because it's caused by the effect that we used earlier, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, we spot healing brush, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I got it. I think what we can do is brush over the shadow.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
This is so much easier.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
so
exactly
one thing I can say is if there's an easier way to do it in Photoshop, do the easier way.
Yeah.
Make life as easy as possible.
See, that's where a pro versus a noob comes in, because I was suggesting this spot healing brush, but obviously Baz is much more experienced, so he knew exactly which tool to use for that.
And unfortunately, because the sky is clear, like, yeah, we can kind of get away with this.
Yeah, but it's looking very great already. Can we go over that left side just one more time just to perfect it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm guessing you're doing general one first. I'll let you carry on.
Okay, yeah, I think I see what you're saying now.
Yeah. Yeah, now it will look much better.
And yeah, we could probably get rid of
I guess that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. That's part of the background, isn't it?
Yeah. Do that. Oh wait. Let me undo that. Yeah.
And then if we could just do one more very rough. Oh wow, you can already see the massive difference. Yeah, if we could do a little bit more on the left side, just under his buttocks. Sorry to use the expression, but
it's all right. You can swear, it's fine.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't normally swear anyway. But yeah, that's looking great. What is that tool called that you're using?
I'm just using the brush tool and layer masking.
Oh, right, I see.
Okay, what I'm going to do is lower the opacity a bit, and yeah, just add a little bit of blur, just not too much.
Yeah, that's great.
And then once that's done, I think that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, can we zoom out a bit? Can we use that same tool, the brush tool and the layering just at the bottom near the board? So the same as you did above, but I know you said that it's easier to do up top because of the sky. But can you see the same effect there on the floor? Because the main attraction here is the board. It's all the video is all about the board.
Yeah, I think this is where the spot healing brush can come in.
Yeah, maybe. It might be a bit difficult because of the shadows, but oh wow, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's already an improvement. Maybe we can do a little bit more. I've never really liked the spot healing tool.
Yeah, I try to avoid it if I can.
Yeah, it gets a bit messy sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe if you click on the same spot 5 to 10 times.
All right, we'll have to undo that.
Or we can just leave it actually, because the thing with for your viewers who are watching, the thing about YouTube thumbnails is the vast majority of people watch YouTube on their mobile phones and tablets. So the thumbnail size is actually about that big. I've got my phone here. It's about that big. Most people don't actually watch YouTube on a full-size screen. So all of these details and intricacies, they won't actually be visible to the vast majority of viewers. All you want is a thumbnail that pops out, in your face. And then all you want is that click. As soon as someone clicks, you've got the view and you've caught someone's attention. So that's why thumbnails are really, really important in YouTube. If you have an amazing video but a terrible thumbnail and title, then nobody's going to discover it. So that's why I like to spend time. And that's why I use Baz's services. I don't use anyone else. I use only the best. Because thumbnails are very important to me. And actually, I've realized a huge improvement in my videos and in brands recognizing my work and reaching out to me, sending products to review, all because people look at these amazing thumbnails, they click through to the videos, and they stick around. And if not for the great thumbnails that Baz makes, I don't think I would have seen any of that improvement, or at least not to the level that I've seen. And yeah, brands appreciate it and recognize it, and it's caused me to have much more success on my YouTube channel.
That's
So it's
awesome.
amazing. Could we? I know you put some blur on his left hand there. Can we remove that blur? Yeah, I think you're doing that now.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, it looks a bit off.
Yeah, it looks much better now.
Yeah, just a very subtle. Yeah, I think I should be fine.
Just on his left shoulder there, could we remove a bit of that there as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then above the right shoulder as well.
Here.
Yeah, a bit left, a bit up and left. Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's amazing for an effect. And then what I would do next is have text essentially, but I want to have the text behind him, behind his back. I'm not sure how you're going to go about that because I'm not very experienced, but
okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to merge all the layers, make this into a smart object, and I'm going to use a mask. So we'll sort out the text layer first. Yeah, we can do the masking later. So yeah, we're going to give this video a title, the thumbnail title. What are you thinking?
So can you type in max find?
How would you spell that?
MAX, so max, and then find, like the finder on Mac. So MAXFIND, and then space FF, space again.
Yeah.
Plus, so PLUS. Yeah, it's a bit of a longer, long title, but yeah, that's it. I love this font, by the way. Baz chose this font for a previous video, a previous thumbnail, and I really, really liked it. So we've stayed consistent with it so that we get that consistent theme across my channel. And yeah, it's working really well.
Yeah, it's called Helvetica. That's the name of the font.
Yeah, it looks really modern and stylish at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it in terms of the text. And if we can somehow get it to go behind his back.
So yeah, where would you position it?
This might be a bit of a difficult one. Can you make the text a bit bigger so that it spans across the majority of the screen? That's a bit too big, a bit less. Yeah, and then we won't miss the letter essentially, a bit smaller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then if we recenter it, we'll just see how that looks.
Actually, there's a technique to recenter things. I think if you select that along with the background, yeah, you see there's tools up there.
Yeah.
Align horizontal. Oh wait, I messed that up now.
Yeah, I can see what you're doing though, yeah.
Yeah, or we can get the rulers.
Yeah, I guess you can calculate with a ruler where how many pixels there are, and then you just half the pixels, right?
1920. What's 1920 divided by 2? I'm gonna have to calculate that.
I'm never been good at maths.
I know I did A-level maths, and I was supposed to know this, but yeah, I've forgotten everything.
Divided by 2 is 750, and then
960.
900 divided by 2 is what?
9. Yep, yeah. I still have to use maths to this day, and yeah, it's quite shocking that I did A-level maths, and yeah, I still can't do this.
We always say we never use stuff that we learned in school in real life, right? But I guess that's one of the things that we will always have to use, maths.
Yeah, I guess this is one of those times where maths is actually useful in Photoshop.
Yep. Can you bring in another margin on the horizontal axis?
Yeah,
just so we can center it the other side as well and see how that looks.
1080, so yeah, 540. Oh, I finally didn't have to use a calculator for this one.
Yeah, so your maths teacher's obviously done a good job with you, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's a legend, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, can we bring it just a little bit right?
Yeah, I've got it. We can center the D in the middle.
Yeah, just so the first F shows a bit more. I might actually increase the size of the whole text a little bit, just so we don't lose much of that text behind him. A little bit more, that's it, and then we can center it again. Okay, a bit left, a couple of frames left. Right, okay. Yeah, that looks good. And then now if we can essentially get that behind his body. So I guess now's where your magic comes in and you start masking stuff.
Yep, that's right. And yeah, we might have to choose a different color since so that it contrasts with the background.
Yeah, or we could have just, I guess we could just add a drop shadow because
Yeah.
I quite like the way it looks at the moment. But
Yeah, we will show how to do that in a moment.
yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
this is masking. This is a power of masking. Like, you just brush and watch the magic happen. And if you make a mistake, it's easy to undo it. Oh, yeah, just decrease the flow a little bit.
So you decrease the flow at the edges just so you don't take too much off, right?
Yeah, just so it blends in a bit better, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, flows now is something I never used to do. But yeah, I think I was watching a Photoshop tutorial and I was like, oh wow, I should have used this all along. So yeah, I still learn new things to this day. So just shows.
Yeah, I'm sure even the people at the highest level of Photoshop are still learning stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, good thing about the background is, yeah, the white kind of submerges it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll add some drop shadow, like you said, in a bit.
Yeah.
And just his left hand and his right elbow there. I guess we could do a bit more of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Could you zoom in just a little bit? Because I'm on my laptop screen now and I can't see much.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to undo. I made a mistake there, but that's the good thing about layer masks. Just
Very easy to undo.
Decrease the flow. Yep, see that?
Yeah, looking great. Just a little bit there. If you go back to the bottom area, I can see a bit of white just on his arm, on the bottom of his arm. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a bit more on the far right side, just below his hand. Yeah, that's it. Or that might actually be part of the image, sorry.
Attention to detail, I like it.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to be a lawyer, so I'd hope that I have quite good attention to detail.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's looking great there. And then, wow. Yeah, you're very, very specific and accurate. That's amazing.
That's all right. And then other side.
The left side, yeah. Well, the right side technically, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll just increase the flow. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not sure what's happened here.
Maybe it was in reverse there where you were trying on the left side.
Because white. Oh, white shows, yeah. That's why.
Oh, there you go.
I can make silly mistakes sometimes.
Nope, it's completely fine.
Yeah, just gonna sort this out 1 second.
Yeah, cool.
And then decrease the flow.
Could you bring back the top of that N?
Yeah, just do.
Oh, that's what you're doing now. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I just saw it disappear and I was like, whoa, I should trust professional designers like you more.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'll know something's off pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, that's looking very, very good.
And 1 second, let me just check down there.
Wow, you're very, very meticulous. I think that's exactly what you want when you want quality, which is great.
Cool. We'll zoom out and yeah, let me know how it looks.
Yeah, that's looking amazing. We'll definitely need to add some drop shadow so that we can see the middle letters because I think they're kind of hidden away in the sky, aren't they? Because they're both
Yeah.
quite.
Yeah, because the background doesn't quite contrast. Yeah. So we had layers, layer styles, drop shadow.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. It's a bit harsh, that drop shadow. I like it much more spread out, and yeah, like that.
40. Cool.
Yeah, that already looks really good, to be honest. Do you think we should add some colors like last time, just so we have a bit of consistency with my previous thumbnails, or do you think that looks good enough?
Colors. What do you mean by colors? Like with the adjustment layers?
Like in our previous thumbnails, we have like a yellow, not a yellow, sorry, a red, pinkish theme sometimes. Although
Yeah.
I quite like this actually. It looks quite modern.
But yeah, we can experiment around. So what I can do is I can add a curves adjustment layer and then play around with some filters.
Yeah, I guess we could play around with filters, yeah.
But yeah, I'll just do medium contrast. I think it pops a bit more, I think.
Yeah, I definitely like it with that compared to without. Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
we can add a vignette.
A vignette?
Yeah, or however you pronounce it. I still have trouble pronouncing it to this day. But yeah, there's different ways to do vignette. I do it differently, but yeah, whichever, as long as it gets the results, then I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I've never seen it done this way, but this is probably the pros way.
Oh, something new for the viewers, I guess.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah, we can see what it looks like with and without the vignette.
And obviously I'll lower the opacity because, yeah, I want it to be really subtle.
Could you reduce the opacity to about 20, 25?
We'll do 25. This is without, and this is with. I like it with.
You like it with?
Yeah.
Go without again?
This is without.
And with?
With.
It's looking great, but can we reduce it a little bit more to 20?
20.
Just so it's a bit more subtle.
Yeah, I think this is better.
Yeah. I'm also thinking, now that I look at the image, like now that it's zoomed out, can we reduce the drop shadow on the actual text a bit more?
Oh, like the opacity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it.
Because it pops a bit too much, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just let me know. We can do 35.
Can you move that layer style box a bit right so we can see the try 30?
This is 30.
Yeah, I think 30 looks good. It's nice and subtle and it gets the job done.
Yeah, I will see it without.
Yeah.
And with. With,
yeah. Definitely with. Yeah, I'm happy with that, unless you want to experiment with colors, but I think that looks very good.
Yeah, I think you can play around with it, and it all depends on what you like. But I think for the purpose of this video, this is how you make a thumbnail for a YouTube video. And again, it's not a tutorial, but more just a walkthrough of how we've done the process.
Yeah, of what I like and what I don't like in my YouTube thumbnails. But what I love about working with Baz is he's extremely talented, and what that means is that he's extremely adaptable. So he's very, very flexible to accommodate for my needs. If I want a completely different, if you go into my YouTube channel, you'll see all sorts of thumbnails and they all look very different sometimes. So he can tailor his skills to my needs, which is a very, very admirable thing. I don't have to go to specific different designers to get specific things. Baz just does it all. As long as you communicate clearly, and he also understands very well what I want as a client. And I think you've seen a few of my videos, haven't you? So you know my kind of style and and because we've done a few of these thumbnails together, you know what preferences are like. So he's very good at reading that and reading me as a person, and he knows how to make thumbnails, which I really like. So yeah, that's a little bit of my experiences working with Baz, and I definitely highly recommend him to anyone that's interested in any sort of design work, whether it's thumbnails, whether it's posters or fan art or anything like that, even book covers. I highly recommend Baz. Also video editing. You do some video editing too, right?
Yeah, I do video editing, but I'm mainly more experienced with photo editing, since I have a lot more time to do that than video editing.
Yeah, definitely. And it shows, the experience definitely shows in every piece that you work on. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. I'm happy to put that straight onto YouTube. Yeah, anything else you want to say to close off the video?
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, to everyone watching this, you've learned something about Photoshop. Maybe you've learned different ways of doing things. And glad to hear that it's helped, if it has helped you. Or if it hasn't, then that's fine too. Because at the end of the day, I would encourage everyone who's learning Photoshop to do what works for them. Because what works for me may not work for you. And that's absolutely fine. You just got to play around with it and find your style. Awesome.
Good advice. Yeah, take care, everyone. And maybe check out my channel sometime and you'll see more of Baz's work.
Yeah, and also check out my channel if you want to get ideas of what kind of edits I do. Bearing in mind, I do go more insane with those edits than I do with the client projects. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen some of those edits and they look incredible.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. And I'll see you soon.
Take care. Peace.